Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami SAN has called for the stakeholder engagement in resolving the protracted conflict between farmers and herders in the country. Speaking during the AB Diko Memorial Symposium held in on Saturday in Benin-Kebbi, Kebbi State, Malami said farmer and herder crisis is real and therefore requires real-time and practically oriented solutions. The better approach towards resolving the crisis over the short, medium and long terms is to directly involve the stakeholders in the coming up with the solutions at the conception, implementation and monitoring phases, he said. According to the minister, the community-oriented approach is likely to yield greater dividends in diffusing and eventually eliminating the menace that has retarded economic development and created widespread. Malami noted that addressing farmer herders crisis from purely theoretical perspectives, often devoid of reality and without synchronization with the needs and aspirations of the involved stakeholders, is not only counterproductive but inimical to the emergence and sustenance of a peaceful and prosperous Nigeria. The minister therefore advocated for setting up of regulated grazing reserves to replace the Butali or Urumi pastoral system and intensive enlightenment to livestock breeders on the need for sedentary farming and transhumance agriculture as complementary the economic process to nomadic farming. He said provision of water holes in remote grazing locations, subsidized veterinary care and mobile ambulatory services for surgeries and other medical interventions for livestock would be of great help, while emphasizing the need for providing social amenities, educational facilities and cattle markets at central locations to accelerate nomadic settlement. Malami said educating communities on the need for peaceful coexistence and community engagement fora for bridge building in community relations are of utmost importance. According to the minister, revamping of the activities of the Nomadic Education Commission with a view of complementing the efforts of government is essential in resolving the farmer-herder clashes. So guys, I don't know when, anytime it comes to some issues, I don't know whether that is how it plays out. You will just hear that they made a statement, oh, they just went for a program, and for I don't know whether that program or that symposium or whatever meeting they are always being invited to, whether that is that what most of the statement that all these our government officials, if I'm wrong, please correct me, because when you want to make a serious decision, or if you want to make some policies, or if you want to talk about anything, I think it should be a different ball game entirely. Not that you just went for a program, then you just chip in what you think or that has been happening in the country. If that avenue is the right place to just make mention of that, because if something as serious as this herders and farmers that they're always talking about, which is not even that way in reality, if you want to talk about that thing, I think it should be a different, it should be something that government is going to be talking about, or trying to make policy, or trying to do one or two things, but not that you just went to a program, you just be making some such statements, because at the end of the day, in my opinion, it will just end there. It will just look as if you are just making a statement, because how do people now get involved in this kind of a thing? That being said, what I'm just trying to say is that in that event that he went to, is that the place, or was that the appropriate place to have made mention of such thing, if really you want to tackle this problem? And again, talking about because what he's trying to say, if I'm getting him right, they are still talking about this issue of this all the plans they had for Ruga, all the things they were explaining, trying to bring all of those things to make a special whatever for these headers. The problem is that in other countries that are practicing or that are into cattle business, into cow business, does it mean this is how they do it? Is there no way they have been doing it? Is it not supposed to be a private business, just like people have been saying? Is it government-oriented business when you talk about cattle? Because a lot of other people are into business too, other businesses too. And they are coordinating themselves, they are comporting themselves. Because this issue of pampering this S-men, it is something that we cannot just get, whether because the president, because we just have to say it the way it is. Because initially people just try to like, oh, separate the man, separate the this and that. People just try to come to, kind of conclusion and generalization of anything, any little thing. They say, is it because? No, because when you see things, people who have been saying it because they have looked into all of these things thoroughly, and they see that because of this thing, that is why this thing is like this. And somebody is pussyfooty about some things that are supposed to be done. People who are committing offense should be arrested. It's as simple as that. It's a private business. It's been done in other countries, and they don't go in this manner. We have public schools, we have hospitals, we have police, we have everything in this country that everybody has rights to attend all of those things. If you feel that your business is taking much of your time, that you don't want to attend all of those things, that is not your own cup of tea. But the government must have provided everything in the country. Of course, even if you know that they have not been taking care of all of those things, but that is what even other people are still using. Because everybody is taking care of himself or herself when it comes to social amenities. But if you want to try to make it a different ballgame entirely, you are trying to consider them because they have chosen that line to be moving from places to places. And that is why you think they don't have all of those things. Their children don't go to school. If you are sick and you have chosen not to go to hospital, that is your own problem. Nobody is going to force you. Maybe your family member can force you to hospitals, or you force you to school. Nobody will force you. Because the same way Nigerians, every other persons have been living in this country, every other person has been living in this country, doing their own thing. So you try to say because these people are causing problem. It's not in my opinion, that is what is happening. Because if you leave your own space and encroaching another person's space, it's a crime. And which the government does not want to adhere to. They don't want to look into that because you are encroaching. Because I've never seen where you can say a farmer has gone ahead to go and be looking for the problem or the trouble. That is the way you can just put it, of a herdsman. What business do they have with them? You are not talking about the atrocities that these people are committing by encroaching, going into other people's space. You are not talking about that one. You are making it seem as if the farmers will just go one day, they will just go and be chasing the herdsmen, and the herdsmen will be chasing them in return. That is the way you are making it to seem, and that is not the reality. But it is these people who do not want to do things accordingly, to be stationed in a place, and that is why we are having problem. You are not addressing that. You are not addressing that. We know a lot of farm rights that have been destroyed by the action of this herdsmen. What are you talking about it? In other countries that they are involved in cattle rearing, they have cows. People eat cow meat over there too. How did they do it? And you cannot tell me that you don't know at your level. You cannot tell me you don't know how it's been done elsewhere. It's just that this nepotism and tribalistic, we know that is what has been the bane of in this country. But this government has taken it to a higher level. They have made it more obvious. They have made it a normal thing. And that's why you say you want to provide a different, or have a different whatever to them. If you have done the needful by teaching these people lessons, because you are not even ready to do that, because that is how it ought to be. Because when you see somebody encroaching other people's space, what are you supposed to do? They will go and call police, and at the end of the day, nothing will happen. So all of these things, they are just, in my own opinion, they are not ready to do anything, and they know what they are doing. They definitely know what they are doing. So all this talk here and there, trying to profile solution. The profiling solution is by arresting these people, letting them face anybody that does the wrong thing, should be apprehended, should be brought to book. That is the first step. Because if they learn their lesson, they will know how to comport themselves, because it's a private business. Making it seem as if it's a herders and farmers a drama or clashes, it is not acceptable, because the farmers are not looking for these people's trouble. We know those who are always causing this problem, and you are not addressing that issue. You are not telling them, stay on your lane. Don't encroach other people's space. You are not saying that you are going back to try to make it. Honestly, the kind of people who are leading us, their mentality is somehow, and that is why we are not making progress, and that's why we are not moving forward as a people. It's very, very unfortunate. Honestly, unfortunate. Someone says, what is grazing reserves? The solution is ranching. Mr. Malami, don't talk long or dogo to Renchi on something you know answer to. Yes, why your race have chosen the hard roots of grazing to this simple problem is why people tend to believe there is a hidden agenda. That is it. No mind this man is a club member. I can eat food without beef because there are other alternatives like chicken, fish, and goat. Don't think cow is indispensable. Can we feed on cow alone? How much are they generating for government? If we use taxpayers' money to finance cattle business, and what about farmers that planted what we eat? Who will finance those farmers? Could someone please tell Malami to build ranches for the herders in the north where the herders have comparative advantage and enough uh, available land? This is the lasting solution to the contrived problem ignited by herders to dispose farmers of their ancestral land. That is it. Because these guys are just the one encroaching other people's space. Why can't they stay in a place? Why are you not advising them, encourage them to be in a place? This a nomadic, this that the grazing routes, it doesn't make sense. They're just trying to, when you have when you don't have when you have a negative motive, when you don't have a clear solution or a clear mind, that is what happens, because they don't want to go straight. And like I said, how do they manage all of these things? It's a private business. Let them be stationed in a place which people are talking about ranching, but it's still talking about grazing routes, so that they will do this, they will do this. Oh, now what? Oh, now wash. Selfish minister. No wonder he thinks he could declare Amotekun illegal. If I hear reserve PEM, let them stay in the north west only. Instead of moving around, causing havoc up and down. Yes, they are moving around, encroaching other people's space. That is what is giving this problem. And like I said, farmers will never do that, and they know who is causing the people who are causing this problem. They are just playing to the gallery. They are just being economical with the truth. So guys, let us hear your opinion. Some people have made their own submission concerning the solution that Malami is trying to profile. Leave your comment below and let's have your take. Thank you.